My name is Polle de Maagt and I'm the Prime Minister of the Ministry of World Domination, and we change companies to be less about advertising and more about acts. Well, I think the key problem with advertising and a key problem with a lot of things is that we don't appreciate time enough. So many things we're doing are just designed to have as much attention from people as possible. And in that way, we're just wasting time. Advertising in general is just wasting time. Why do advertising if we can just solve people's problems?
What is the most valuable thing in the world? Time. Yes. Time. So if we're looking at it, and especially in the context of advertising, I really think we should ask ourselves the question, are we using time in the correct way? It's really difficult to explain to my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old at some point why we're wasting so much of their time on advertising, why we're wasting so much of their time on waiting in queues, waiting so much of the time in crappy customer service and not doing better. And wasting this time is usually also part of how we measure KPIs. And this is just a random statistic. I could take like gazillions of these. So what is the best indicator for successful content? Time on page. So wasting people's time. How can that be the KPI? This is an idea I heard last year, and the problem is I can't find the company that did it. And I asked Jan Willem, and Jan Willem is like the encyclopedia of knowledge within KLM, and he didn't even know it. But there is a company in the world where you get a 6-month paid leave if you can make your own job obsolete. So it's not designed to create an empire within your company. It's not created to get as much power. It's just if you can make sure that the problem you were managing doesn't exist anymore, that you can automate it or whatever, you get a 6-month leave and then you can come back to the company. So it's not a bad thing to solve these issues. It's a really, really good thing to solve these issues. This is one thing we did 4 years ago now. So at some point we heard a lot of people complaining about the fact that they lost their items on an airplane. And if you would lose, for example, your laptop on a KLM airplane, you would have to fill out a form of 2 sides. You had to send it to Amsterdam. Then I think 3 weeks later you were able to call to the same Amsterdam office to ask if they indeed received your form and if they found your object. And then if they found the object, you could go to Amsterdam and actually collect your object. So what we did, we have 30 people who actually, for example, had a burnout or were ill or had maternity leave and were reintegrating within the company. 30 people like that, and they formed a full-time service team that were just looking for lost objects. So what would happen, for example, you lost your laptop, you would send us a tweet, and they would instantly go to that airplane to get it back. And what is really interesting there is if you have to mail in a form and we then have to start looking for your object, the chance that we're actually finding your laptop is really, really below 0 probably. But if you send a tweet and we can instantly go to the airplane, the chance for actually finding it is way, way, way higher.